Hello, friends from the comic book and manga world. My name is G,
And I'm Hector.
and we're here to discuss our picks for the March 6th, 2023 FOC. Hector and I, we work for Penguin Random House, and we manage sales into the direct comic book market for around the world. So the titles that you'll see here today are those that we can sell into the international markets. Aside from YouTube, we're also on other social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So definitely check us out at PRH International Comics, where we'll post some cool news and updates on those channels. So we'll get started at least with my first pick.
Yes.
So we'll go here with Us. This is written and illustrated by Sarah Solar, and this is actually a translated work. So Sarah is an Aragonese comic creator, and originally the language, this was put out in Spanish, but it got translated into this English physical release. Beautiful trade paperback. And I'll go through actually some of the interior pages here. So what you'll see on the cover with the color scheme, you're also going to see throughout when you're reading the story. And this is a graphic memoir, and it's about a love story between Sarah and Diana going through a gender transition. And it's especially a topic like especially now, at least in the US, and I know in the UK as well, it's like a very serious topic that you see on the news. Even so, it's very timely. And it's one of those reads where it's just nice to read about this experience, at least for me, an experience that I'm not familiar with. So having this in this graphic novel format is great. And you're just seeing how the story speaks to the changing conceptions, um, a changing landscape about the topic of like in this case that you'll see on the cover in the interior art here. Transphobia is a big issue that's being discussed here as well. So I definitely wanted to point it out. I also like how it's like you'll see the once upon a time. It's like a fairy tale-esque uh
I love
type of
I
illustration
love the
here.
title
Yeah.
of the book. I love the title of
Yeah.
the book.
The book
The
of
book of
preconceived
preconceived notions. Yeah.
notions. Yeah. So this is great. I highly recommend picking this up. Yeah. Mhm.
Great. And next pick is my pick. It's Past Tense. And this is but written by Jason McNamara and illustrated by Alberto Masacchia. This is a very cool futuristic story, kind of a futuristic thriller suspense. In the future, hundreds of years from now, there's this technology where they can send drones into the past and see events in very specific, like you can just see anything that happened in a specific time in a specific place. And this company called Past Tense uses this to send drones to very sort of depraved events is what they call them. And this person that you see in the cover actually works there, decides to do tours of the killings from this unknown serial killer that nobody knew who it was, but he was there was all these deaths. So she would send the drone and capture the murders as they were happening. And the serial killer would have a mask on, you know, and people loved them, they call them tours. So it's a very successful tour, and people were signing up for it. But what she doesn't realize is that the killer was still alive. So the killer starts coming after her because of this newfound fame, and sort of gets obsessed with her, and obviously with trying to kill her. So I love the whole concept of this. I love the sci-fi part of it, and I love that it's entangled with. Oh, thank you. I forgot. Yes. So we have interiors there, and I love that it's entangled with this also this sort of mystery, suspenseful story. Um, and it's very well written. The pages that I read, and as you can see, the art also it's very beautiful by Alberto Masaglia. So I highly recommend. I'm looking forward to this one.
Mm. And for my pick, we have a Windbreaker by Satoru Ni. And this one is not to be confused with, so this is the Japanese manga. And there's actually a Korean manhwa that has the same name. They're totally different stories. Both are fantastic. But just to clear up that confusion, because I know that both are pretty popular in their own right.
Yeah.
But this one is about a school of delinquents, which I love reading delinquent manga stories.
Yeah.
And it's a group of delinquents that are, you know, trying to do good and trying to be heroes. And there's the main protagonist where all he wants to do is just reach to the top of the food chain by being the strongest amongst them all. And you get to follow that journey through this story here. It kind of reminds me of, oh, okay, so I watched this drama, which is based off of a web comic from Korea called Weak Hero Class. And it fans of that webtoon or that web comic, can't remember if it's on webtoon or not. I have to look into it. But fans of like that kind of story would like something like this.
Hmm.
I would also say like it's very different from Tokyo Revengers, but I would imagine the audience who also likes Tokyo Revengers would also like to read this as well. So I just wanted to point this out because we have a cool volume 1 that's
Yeah.
coming in August.
And I gotta mention that, but just looking at the cover, having only the information that you get from the cover, which is very simple, but at the same time has so much, because that this character design is amazing. I
Yeah.
can see this becoming. It could become really big. It could become the kind of thing also that if it gets an anime, people will start wearing the windbreaker. People will start cosplaying with the two different eyes and the black and white bicolor
Mhm.
hair. So but it's also, it's such a very typical action manga cover, but it's so well done that it kind of gets you excited by just looking at it. It's like, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna like this, not even
Mhm.
knowing what it's about. But then you hear what's it about, and then also, gets you excited. So very
If I'm
cool. I
not
think this
mistaken,
is gonna
this
be very good.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that this is like one of the most anticipated in terms of like
Hmm.
in Japan in particular. It's like one of the ones that people are wanting to push for an anime. I could see it doing well
Yeah.
if it does get it. There's no announcements on that at this
No,
point,
but
but
I mean,
yeah,
at the stage that it is within English manga, obviously, uh, I would keep an eye on it because this is the kind of it's kind of the buzz that we had before Blue Lock,
Mm.
before Tokyo Revengers, although that was huge, and before some of the other ones, other mangas, and then just keep an eye out on it. I think I'm just gonna try to find a green windbreaker now and have it in my closet ready because I think it might become a thing.
And I think this came out digital first as well, so it already has like
Oh, so it's
a
out
good
there. Okay.
following. It's out there. So
Yeah.
but
Very cool.
us all being book people, you want to
Yeah.
have it
Yeah. Yeah.
in your hands for sure. So, all
Yes, for sure. Excellent.
right. So next up is actually our cover picks for the week.
Mhm.
So,
And first one is one of my picks is Planet of the Apes #1. This is their George Tuska remaster variant. This is a 1 in 50. Uh, this is obviously the classic scene at the end of Planet of the Apes, the first movie, the original movie, and the original book. And you can see in the background, well, you see the Statue of Liberty, and you see in the background the main character uh, on the floor goes like, "You blew it up, you finally did it," and then you see the other character, I forget her name, on the horse. Now, this is a remaster of the art from George Tasca, who obviously is no longer with us. But I tried to find this cover because he did the original run of the adaptation of the movies, The Planet of the Apes, and I couldn't find it. So I'm thinking that maybe this is a panel that was remastered and it was adapted to the cover. So I love this. The other kind of curious thing that I found out as I'm researching this is that Marvel didn't have had the rights for Planet of the Apes, but didn't have the rights to Charlton Heston, to the likeness of Charlton Heston, the main actor. That so George Tuska had to come up with a different design for the person of his character. So the person you see here, and they put out like a thing, I guess, at that time that said that it was just a very handsome guy. It was definitely not Charlton Heston because they didn't want to get sued by Charlton Heston. So that was kind of a curious thing.
Oh.
Yep. And that's it.
And my pick is Amazing Spider-Man
Oh,
issue
so
number
cool.
23. This is the Chris Bachalo variant. This is just cool.
Yes.
I don't know. I just it kind of reminds me of a cat playing with a spider, but not a
Yeah.
cat. It's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
On top of this is it's just adorable. That's why I like it.
I know. They should include these in the next Spider-Man game that's coming out. They should include
Yeah.
a place where you could hang out at the top of that tower, and then a little spider comes down. I don't know
I
from
don't
where,
know where
and
is
I
it
don't
coming
care.
from.
I don't
Like, I
care.
don't care either.
I just want to have that moment in the video game.
It's like I'm not gonna think
Yeah,
about where that
yeah.
web where it's
It
dangling from because
dangling from exactly.
there's no reason to know.
There's no scientific reason for it to be there,
Reason.
but we love it. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes. Next is another of my picks is Spider-Gwen's Shadow Clones #2 by Ivan Tao. This is a 1 in 25 variant. As I mentioned to G, I just read issue #1, loved it. So for fans of Spider-Gwen, I think this is also another really good series. And the cover here, well, it's kind of a reveal that at the end of the first one we get introduced to San Wen, and behind there you see Oct Wen, and she's facing off with Spider-Gwen's facing off with Sam Wen right there. Very beautiful art. I love that it looks uh, like a like a poster for a big fight in Las Vegas, you know, and I think that's what Ivan went for. It's perfect. It's like a Rocky poster or a poster for a big fight event in Las Vegas or something like that. So it looks really cool.
Mhm. And then, it's kind of obvious with
Yep.
Rian Gonzalez, I'm going to have to pick. So we have the Joe Fixit issue #4. This is the Gonzalez variant. And I just love it. You have the Las Vegas signs in the background, like casino signs. It's cute. Um, and it's very much in the style of Rian Gonzalez. So, of course, I had to pick something like this. So, yeah.
Yes. Of course. Next up, another of my picks, Star Trek Defiant #2. This is a variant C by Christian Ward. And it's such a beautiful cover with Worf on it. And you kind of see sort of colors of the cosmos. And I kind of feel like also those lines, it means that he's being transported. But obviously that menacing look, which is classic of Worf and all Cleons, obviously. And then Christian Ward, if it sounds familiar, it's because he's such a big name nowadays, and he's doing so much, and he's all over the place, like working with obviously IDW, but he's doing stuff with DC and some of the other independents too. And I mean, I immediately recognize him from the covers from DC for the Aquaman. I forget what it's called, the one for Black. Uh, uh, oh, what is it called? The big Aquaman one that came out from DC, but also Swamp Thing Green Hell
Was
from
it
Black Label. From Black Label, sorry,
was
I
it
couldn't think of the name.
Andromeda?
Andromeda, thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
so it's that recently we came out in trade. Something Green Hell is still on single issues, but we already have it on a that it's coming later this year in trade. But also, you reminded me earlier today, I didn't remember that he is the artist for Invisible Kingdom
Yeah.
from Burger Books from Dark Horse. So he did the art and the covers for that, and obviously you can see how he loves to play with colors and kind of blend them into everything. So this is an amazing piece of art. I love this.
Mhm. And then this is such a
Yay!
cool cover.
Yes.
It's actually both of our picks. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Usagi Yojimbo, Where When, issue number 1. This is the ratio incentive variant. This is a 1 in 10 by Meyer, and obviously it looks like a homage to Hulk 340. Did I get that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
mean, I can't think of anything else that kind of seems obvious to that, but we'll
Yeah.
see with the
The
reflection of
reflection. Mhm.
the reflection.
And the face. It's like
Yeah, and the face as well.
definitely
Yeah.
Wolverine's face right there, basically.
Hmm. But this is pretty cool.
Yes,
I'm excited. Yeah, this is.
it's very cool. Next up is another of my picks is Star Wars Hidden Empire number 5, the final chapter in this crossover series. And is this is David Lopez travel variant, and it's a 1 in 25. And you see here Ren and the Knights of Ren kind of walking into a jungle. It's very reminiscent to me of like the old Vietnam War posters or something like that, or maybe even Predator. Now that I think about it, the original one, as they were walking into the jungle. Um, to get killed by Predator. And this is very beautiful. I love that the concept is you have the characters and you kind of have the perspective of the line of characters walking in, and then you have how they're walking in the foliage, but the background itself is just negative white, and it makes it stand out so much more. I really love the how David this. I'm a big fan of David Lopez, but in general, I think this is such a beautiful cover. I think everybody's gonna love. Yes.
Right. And then we always have some piece of news, and we both
Yeah.
got really excited for this. This is the Marvel Comics celebratory AAPI, or Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage variant covers. And these are drawn by InHyuk Lee, who is great. Really awesome
Yeah.
person to meet in person at cons if you ever get a chance. And then we have Nico from the Runaways on the cover on that first image that you see there. And then of course we have Iron Fist. And then you'll see like on which issues. So with Nico, you'll see on Doctor Strange issue number 3, and then on Daredevil issue number 11 for that. And then some other covers that were pretty cool that we liked was the one with Teguki on the cover, which is great because if you'll notice, because Teguki is a Korean character, and Hyuk Lee signed in Korean,
Yeah.
as you'll see right down below. He only does that for that cover, and then which makes sense. And then you have uh, s- Sister Dagger from
Sister Dagger.
Shang-Chi
Yeah.
on this cover as well. Pretty cool. I love it.
Yeah. These are all very cool, and we're big fans of English Lee. We saw on his Instagram recently that he got into an accident. He has a sling on his arm and all that. So
Mhm.
I don't think he'll ever see this. But if you guys go see him and see him there, tell him from us in PRH, we hope he gets better soon.
Mm. I should clarify, he signs both in Korean and English on all of them, except he really like makes it prominent on the Taegukgi cover.
Oh yeah,
Like you'll notice like above, you'll see that signature right above where it says Lee InHyuk. Yeah, so he
yeah,
clarification there, but it's cool
yeah. And the
regardless.
characters, he uses the characters on the
Yeah,
Tanuki. Yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm. So
awesome.
that's it for our picks and news for the week. We always have fun doing these, so definitely check
Yes,
back in and tune in next week, where we'll also comment down below, like if there's anything that you are wanting to pick up this week, tell us and geek over the stories and the titles that you'll see here. Um, as always, our opinions are our own here, so it doesn't reflect opinions of Penguin Random House imprints clients that we represent. And yeah, with that, enjoy everyone. Again,
thanks for watching.
tune
Bye.
tune back. Bye.